Hello everyone! Today I'm going to talk about setting up an outpost. Note that this video will contain spoilers, so if you wish to explore the world of Aska on your own, now is the time to turn off this video. Still here? Good, let's proceed. We get a lot of questions about the outpost in the Aska Discord, so I figured I would make this guide on how you can set up an outpost as fast as possible. There are 3 core things we need to look into when we want to set up an outpost. First, we need to find a need. What do we need? Is it fish, wood, iron? When we have a need, we then have to find a location depending on what this need is. For this video, I will be making a mining outpost. Next is to scout the area and see if there are any enemy camps nearby. If they are active, we grab some warriors and go and clear them out. I went ahead and deactivated the 2 camps closest to the cave. Now, since the new location is very far from the main village, it will take some time for my builders to come and go with resources. Ideally, we bring with us all that we need to get the core buildings set up. For that, I have made a list. On screen, you can see my choice of first buildings when I make an outpost. It will obviously be the outpost building itself and a 3-part warehouse. You can also see the containers I want to build. The reason I want to build this first is because then I can set up a market to come and bring me all the resources I need to build other things. So while I'm planning layout of the outpost, putting down blueprints for buildings and removing any trees that are in the way, the market workers will bring me more resources to keep building. You can see the total of resources needed for this initial step. The fastest way to bring as many of these resources as possible is to pick up 3 villagers through the proud chieftain's house and give them all 1 cart to pull. So let's see if we can put all these materials into 4 carts. As you can see, 4 carts is not enough to bring everything we need, but by being clever, we can leave out some materials that we will be able to find at the location. We will likely have to remove some trees anyway, so getting the last 10 long sticks will not be an issue. The 25 sticks can be put into the party's inventory. This is the order in which we will build. If we end up not having a lot of fir trees around, we can have a market worker bring the rest to us sooner than later. I have built an additional market earlier and have 2 free workplaces. The carts have been prepared with all the materials we need to bring. Now, in order to make our party members pick up one of the carts, you need to look at it so that you see this tooltip. When you have party members, you will have 1 extra command. If we press down on left shift, we see the party commands. With this, we can press E to make one of our villagers pick up this cart. When you want them to leave the cart behind, you look at the worker, hold down left shift and press Q. Now, since my workers have a cart each, I can pick up the 4th and last one. We are now ready to go and build the outpost. Unfortunately, our workers do not run with the cart. They will follow you anyway in their slow motion. Note that if you start fighting with something, your 3 party members will leave their carts to come and help you, even if they're far away, which will again entice all the smokers in the area to come and rob you. While I wait, I start putting down some blueprints for a future road. Be careful, because if you leave that cart behind, there might be smokers nearby itching to have a snack. As you can see here, there is plenty of them just waiting for that moment. The best protection is to not leave the carts unattended. Here you start to notice how I'm speeding ahead while my party members are slow walking behind. No matter, I will deal with some trees while I wait. Notice that I actually park the cart next to the trees I'm dealing with so that the smokers don't get close. We obviously start with the Outpost blueprint. Now, when my party members have caught up, it is time to make them leave the carts behind. I will then remove them from my party so that they become ordinary builders. I will also remove all the blacklisting from the 4 carts so that they have access to all the resources. You can see that those poor smokers are really asking for it. We crouch down so that they get close enough and kill them. I will protect the resources while my builders are dealing with the terraforming. I will move the carts a little bit closer so that I can put down our warehouse. Note that the moment the terraforming is complete, my builders are leaving. Meanwhile, I am going to protect the loot. When you don't see any more smokers coming, that means you killed all of the closest spawns. Because I put the carts so close to the building, I can quickly move over the resources from the carts over to the blueprint. Now I'm speed running to finish this outpost. You see some smokers running in the background, but because the carts are so close to me, I don't have to worry. Because now I can tell my 3 builders to come back and be builders for the outpost. Now they are gonna run back and only be interested in dealing with the buildings here at the outpost. So we are gonna go ahead and make this warehouse. Now 4 people putting in materials is slightly overkill, so I am gonna let them do it. You will notice that my golem has some issue, and turned out he didn't have a hoe, so I gave him mine. Now they will speed build the first expansion of the warehouse. I really love putting carts right next to the building, it goes so fast. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put down all those containers that we talked about before. Long stick, stick, bark, log, small carpentry items, long carpentry items, and large carpentry items. Next we have thatch, large stones, and obviously the next expansion. While my busy bees are working, I am going to rename this warehouse. I almost forgot that we had a new arrival, so I'm just quickly gonna give them a home. Alright, it is time to make some market routes. I am going to assign 1 new worker, and then I am going to make the setup that I would like to send some wood from my main base to this outpost. I am picking a little bit of every resource so that we will have everything we need to build. I am also going to open my woodcutters and change priority to thatch. That is because we will need thatch for roofs for majority of the better buildings. And just like our math indicated, we are out of long sticks, so I will fix it. For some reason, this outpost got the same color as a different one, so I'm gonna quickly swap that. And then I'm gonna get us some more long sticks. And now we have space to build some more containers. So we are gonna go ahead and place down the small material storage. And now, when all the containers that we planned have been built, we can change a little bit in the settings. So that now, when I make a new market route, we are not going to have too much of these resources. The second route we are building is a delivery of rope and nails. And we will also make one more route for stone. All of these materials will be crucial so that we can continue building. Now when that is set up, all we need to do is relax and wait for our FedEx delivery. As the day is coming to an end, I am going to send these 3 builders back. I opened the builder's hut in my main village and assigned them as builders there. Now that was the end of the preparation. It took around 20 minutes. While playing in multiplayer, you could halve that amount of time. Inside the outpost, I recommend building the containers for the basic needs, like food, clothing, tools, metal parts, arrows, and fuel like coal or fish oil. Since the purpose of this outpost is mining, I am going to make one. I recommend building a cottage or a longhouse for your workers so that they don't have to travel between the different outposts for sleep and work. Now it's time to also set up a new market route to bring in some carpentry items. This will ensure so that we can build the higher quality buildings. Another recommendation I have is if you tend to build your outpost pretty spread out. It is then wise to build a gathering hut to utilize the range of your gatherers. I have removed some obstacles and now is the choice of the year. Do we want a cottage or a longhouse? I tend to choose cottage because it's cheaper, and if I'm not going to have that many villagers here, I don't feel the need to build a longhouse. That is a personal choice. Don't forget to build some wooden totems or other decoration close to your housing. As I know that we have smokers in the area, I'm gonna go ahead and build a hunter's house. Any other buildings will depend on what you need this outpost for. If you want your outpost to be up and running as fast as possible, I recommend summoning those people that you want to have here beforehand. And then, when the outpost building has been complete, you can assign all of them as builders so that they help you build all these buildings. Myself, I had not yet started summoning the people I wanted for this outpost, so I was doing a lot of work by myself. I hope these guidelines help you set up your future outposts much faster. And this concludes my walkthrough of how to get an outpost up and running as fast as possible. Thank you for watching!